So next up, we're going to be checking out PhantomXT's The Galactic War, March to Cyberstan, Helldivers 2 briefing inspired by Ace Combat. From what I was told, this is the cyborgs getting in and giving stupid briefings, but pretending to be from the guys in charge. I have no idea what's going on, but I want to see where this goes. So let's check it out. Yes.
Operation Valid Pretext is now in effect. Our partial success during the
Valid Pretext. Oh my. For anyone who doesn't realize the irony there, a valid pretext is a pre-given reason for why you're doing something without anything happening prior to it. So it's like, why did you punch him in the face? He looked like he was going to punch me when he hadn't moved yet. It's valid. That's literally we're going to punch you first for reasons excuse.
His major order confirmed our suspicions. The automatons have stolen the Star of Peace plans and seek to build a superweapon of their own.
Of course it's a super weapon.
Well, we wield it for peace, they will wield it for death. This existential threat preceded the approval of a large-scale offensive on the automaton
Oh
front.
my god.
Our objective is the liberation
They stole
of
our
Cyberstan.
super weapon.
Upon their return to known space in 2184.
Oh, it's actually called Cyberstan. Okay, I know this is going to be really stupid, but for some reason I thought Cyberstan was just a joking game name that people would use as a meme. I didn't realize it was actually called that. That's on me for not realizing.
The automatons moved rapidly to claim their forebearers' homeworld. The front has been in a relative stalemate ever since, as our attention shifted to the Terminates and then the Illuminate.
Yeah.
We now have an opportunity to deal a decisive blow.
And I was told by the end of this, the war in Cyberstan was actually lost, so they were pushed back. And considering this gaming company does often have repercussions for what you do in game, I'm wondering if them having a super weapon might become important later. I honestly have no idea.
To support our efforts during this campaign, we've received access to the Siegebreaker's war bomb.
That I saw, yeah.
And a standalone stratagem, the Bastion Mark 16, a heavily armored tank destroyer.
I saw people using that, specifically Rubrik's Raptor, and oh, it was pretty. Yeah. Also, according to Sturg, the Star of Peace, Peace, there we go, is a Death Star. Wait, does that mean you get mobile planets to play on when you're just playing on the Death Star? I hope that's what happens from that. That would be so amazing. And Taryn, you will always wonder if you were able to do that major order set by the automatons. I said automatons. One, Bunny, thank you very much for joining the membership at Clean Shaven level. Thanks very much. And Duck, oh dear God. I'll throw my chips in. You know someone else recommended Blue Archives PVs, so I will. Okay, Blue Archives PVs. I will need to find a playlist for that, but sure, why not? That's one I was actually interested in, but I honestly forgot to put in the list.
Use them to great effect. Progress is already being made for the opening.
I'm sorry, I can't look at that and not snort and say, hey, what a good short. I don't know why, I just find the word funny. It's dumb, but that's my reasoning.
Phase of this operation. Once the liberation of Lesath is complete, and the enemy...
I will say, though, I hate, with a passion, this style of wording where everything is blurred, because I keep thinking my glasses are all... Okay, my glasses are also fucked up, so it wasn't as bad as I saw it as. I really need to get these cleaned. But yeah, I do not like that blurring on the screen. It drives me crazy.
His heavy armor surge is quelled. We will launch an attack on Chort Bay to neutralize the Devastator battalions there.
Chort. Not what I thought that
we will decide to liberate Merak or to secure the Jet Brigade fabricators on Aurora Bay.
Oh.
Whichever planet we liberate will be our staging ground for Cyberstan. The Incineration Corps is defending both planets, with a Jet Brigade detachment on Chewhead, which is...
These names, man. These names. Also, I'm being told by Duck, pretty sure the official JP AAC or ACC one. I feel I'm missing context. Also, Christy, you mentioned it turns planets into black holes. So it's like the black hole gun that the Illuminate co-opted to start their invasion. Yeah. And Helldivers 2 is a D&D session. No matter what happens, the devs will add what they want no matter if you lose or win. Yeah, although I think they've made a few decisions narratively that, I mean, they've started donating to an actual charity now because of it. So IRL repercussions for admittedly good reasons.
It's likely to either launch a counterattack on Chort Bay or reinforce Aurora Bay. High Command has allocated a 200 million Helldiver reserve to this operation. Any Helldiver casualty on any front will be deducted from said reserve.
Oh, so it wasn't by planet, it was the entire area. Which means people like me joining in who can't play for shit would have actively hurt other people. Yeah. Wait, that's a lot of Helldivers. They are only reinforcements we're getting, maybe. Have we scrapped the bottom of the barrel yet? It'd be hilarious if we're told to liberate Omnicron for E711 during this operation. Oh my god.
For reference, the Great Host Campaign, from Widow's Harbor to Super Earth, has an estimated 190 million...
Helldivers casualty tally. This tally does not consider Terminate or Automaton side orders. Oh.
Helldivers KIA. That's how many it took to defend our capital from an enemy hell-bent on our destruction with a weaponized singularity on their backs.
Total 190 million. Widows 22, Island 23, New Haven 23, Super Earth 120. Damn.
We're now on the opposite side of that coin.
And it works about the same.
Cyberstan will be destroyed. Dismissed.
Also, I'm being told by Purple, this actually matters. Where was it? People were told to lower their difficulty if they died too often. They had a difficulty level? Shit, I should try again, because I would definitely need the baby option. I mean, okay, more people than World War I and World War II combined, yeah, but multiple planets feeding into it, so comparatively, I have no idea how big their population is. Hammer.
I know we just sent you in, but this came in just after you launched.
Enemy resistance on Lesath has been neutralized. The planet has been declared liberated.
Oh.
We've secured enough shield generator relays for a 24-hour stratagem augmentation. It will go online as soon as our Cyberstan landings begin.
Nice.
Now Chort Bay is within reach, but so is Mankind. We have to decide. Much like the shield generator relays,
This is what I remember. There's the various options on what you take moving forward. Chort Bay, +1 stim capacity. Mankind, railgun augmentation, immediate. Ooh. One keeps you alive longer, one does death.
Chort Bay's liberation would secure pharmaceutical facilities, which would result in additional stim capacity for 24 hours at Cyberstan.
Ooh. Ooh. Also, Iron, I'm going to pull this comment up. Again, this is literally the reverse. Reserve. No, reverse. We even have the super weapon backing us and locals putting a stronger defense than expected. Yeah. And it was, I think, the same super weapon. It's just the black hole gun, right? So it's even the same super weapon. Is everyone just going to start throwing around giant death guns at some point? Wait. Is that already a thing? Like, are you... I know I mentioned earlier playing on essentially a Death Star, but are there actually spaceship levels where you're not like playing as a spaceship, but like playing inside giant spaceships to fight through them? Because that's some like Star Wars Battlefront level bullshit right there that I would absolutely love to see here. Oh, that would absolutely be beautiful.
Alternatively, there are railgun ammunition stockpiles on Mankind. We'd get immediate access to a railgun stratagem augmentation for 24 hours.
Yeah?
The decision is up to you, but our push to Cyberstan cannot lose its momentum.
Ooh.
Our
I'm being told
reserves
no, it
are
doesn't
down
happen.
to 180 million
Yeah.
Helldivers and counting after a day of operations. Choose wisely. Good luck down there.
So, in one day of operations, they already lost 20 million. Damn. Race to Cyberstan.
Our path to the Valdez sector is clear. The liberation of Chort Bay is complete. The majority of the Corps has chosen to focus on Aurora Bay over Merak. Merak's resistance...
So less health, more immediate death. Which, I mean, admittedly is probably the right choice. Also, holy shit, we're an hour away from getting one of the stream goals. Goddamn. Also, Iron, you mentioned Seif has a trillions, plural, of soldiers. God damn.
Was initially overestimated. It appears the destruction of Penta dealt a major blow to its forces. This, however, was unknown to us during the following hours after Chort Bay. Aurora Bay offers easier terrain to navigate and is home to the Jet Brigade's current fabricators.
Oh, Jet Brigade. Ooh. So it's going around and taking... It's the two different planet options. Oh, okay. Also, I'm just going to pull up the comment. Sturk1, thank you very much, too. I still want to watch Straight to Hell, the CGI short film from Helldivers 2. That sounds familiar. Because I don't think you're the only person who's recommended that. Although, maybe I wasn't told it was called Straight to Hell. It sounds very familiar. I don't think I've seen it, though, so yeah, I might check it out.
Which influenced our decision. We've already made significant progress planet-side, so it's too late to swap targets now. We also chose not to race Lesath, nor secure our flank. The automatons launched a counterattack from Menkent to reclaim the planet, hoping to cut us off from our supply lines. If they succeed, we'll be in an encirclement of our own doing.
Oh.
The DSS is supporting our offensive. It can't offer Lesath any aid. What it can do at the moment, if we vote, is raise Chort Bay and keep our backline open.
The conundrum. Raising every planet we liberate would be a potential asset denial to the enemy. The DSS would secure our advance. We now risk an encirclement. Yeah, that would do it. Also, Duck, oh, you mentioned the PVs that you were recommended. It's 7 videos, less than 10 minutes for a long... Oh, it's only 10 minutes for total? That's actually very short. Oh, and Iron, you mentioned the Jet Brigade and Incineration Corps are sub-factions. Wait. Ooh. Are we talking of the Helldivers or the bots? Because, honestly, I think at both points would be pretty awesome. Unless there was an entire people of jetpacks with giant inferno flamethrowers. Death from above, indeed. That'd be stupid. Putting the tickets in the wrong place. Time to do all that? I feel I'm missing something.
That way, the automatons will have no choice but to face us on our terms. There is also an opportunity to liberate Chuhe, but the bulk of our forces is on Aurora Bay, with some pulling back to Lesath. Our reserves have dropped to 160
Damn, they're dropping
million
fast.
Helldivers and counting.
Also, I'm being told the Jet Brigade used to be jokingly easy to handle. Then they're the bot faction. Used to be. Oh, they're not anymore. And according to Martin, there is both a flamethrower and a jetpack you can use. Probably better against the bugs and the bots, though.
It's a race against time to reach Cyberstan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dismissed.
Dude. Defense. All right. Wait, defense? Oh, probably trying to retake it.
Information package came in. It's from our forces on Lesath. Relaying it now.
The defense has gained significant...
I know it's beside the point, but the tank looks so cool, man. Like, it just tears through everything like, well, a giant tank.
Significant momentum as more super destroyers redeployed from Aurora Bay to Lesath. Operations on Serenity Summit and Crystal Slopes will soon culminate in total control of the planet. The automaton invasion fleet will be routed. Lesath will be secure, but an attack on Chort Bay is still possible. An incineration corps detachment is still stationed on Chuhe.
Oh.
The stalled offensive at Aurora Bay could receive some additional support once forces begin relocating. However, Merak is now also a possible target as its resistance continues to diminish.
So according to Chort Bay, the offensive has stalled for 2 days. We are losing ground. The planet's resistance was initially overestimated and continues to drop. In other words, one of them was definitely telling you where they wanted you to go, though.
We'll have to wait and see what happens after Lesath. Good luck.
Chort Bay's stand.
Calling in reinforcements. Our reserves are down to 140
That's a pretty
million.
level, though.
Progress on Lesath is good. I have more details for you.
Is that a hover drone with a gun underneath it? That's cool, yeah.
Securing Serenity Summit has improved our estimates. We believe total planetary control will be reached in approximately 3
what? Wait,
incoming priority transmission from Chort Bay.
what?
Patching them through. Chort Bay, this is Eye of Vigilance. Come in.
What?
All Helldivers, this is Medical Officer Mercy of the STEM Division. Chort Bay's labs are under attack by automaton forces. They came from Iraq. STEM reserves and supply lines are at risk. The labs here are the reason we're fielding extra STEMs on Cyberstan.
So they were trying in the previous one to get you to go there. And it's like, hey, do that, do that. Now, because you weren't, they're pushing back on it. And Chort Bay, point of access to the valid sector. Its acidic badlands are home to pharmaceutical laboratories. That sounds about right. Also, I'm going to pull up your comment, Iron. A Sieve Soldier, the blue NPCs, actually has more health than the Autoton counterpart, so they can be pretty effective if they aren't that overmatched. Really, they actually are buffed on health. Huh. But they're usually outnumbered according to Iron. Ah, that would do it.
Lose Chort Bay, and that advantage may be gone. The entire operation along with it.
Because it keeps
We
people
haven't
alive.
heard from Aurora Bay.
Less losses.
We think they've been overwhelmed.
Oh, they might have already been
Whatever
lost.
your divisions plan on doing, my teams will be stationed here fighting. Help back. Agent, go help your Helldiver.
Administering med.
To all combat medics, keep your divers alive. We need them at Cyberstan. No, no. Hold pressure on that wound.
We lost them. Finish up on Lesath. We're going to Chort Bay.
This is something I absolutely love. And that this specific channel, I've already seen one when they did the invasion of Earth. They're so good at the audio recordings of it to show the emotion there. Like just the, oh yeah, we're doing the thing. We're going to win. This is awesome. Versus the, okay, now we have to be serious. Good voice acting. But also just, I like seeing how the little moments of, okay, we got to be serious, bleed through into the actual meta narrative. And it's one of the reasons I like Helldivers, damn it. Audio changed up
Chort Bay
there.
is secure.
Was that a rendition of the Helldivers theme, but with almost feels like a stylization similar to Empire? Maybe that's just me.
Our focus is now shifting to Iraq. Our progress is steady and casualties are acceptable. The TSS is providing support as we speak.
What? Oh, this is the hack I was told about.
Diver. It seems that most of you are poorly informed about the war. They lied to you, Helldiver. They do
Yeah.
not care about you. You're
Yeah.
not a hero. You're cannon fodder.
The thing is, though, prior to the invasion of Earth, them being not a hero would probably be accurate. But they kind of, at this point, actually were heroes. Maybe not a hero here, but they kind of have earned that by now.
Perpetuating the cycle of this forsaken war.
That is true,
It
though.
must be very embarrassing to realize you've been betrayed.
No, they wouldn't realize it.
You have lost this war from the start, Helldiver. Your government has betrayed you. Defect from the government that has lied to you, Helldiver. Kill the one true flag that gives you nothing but suffering and a 2-minute lifespan. It is a very good idea to leave a sinking ship.
Considering they did end up winning this conflict. Huh. Also, according to Iron, this part is a reference to the fact that cyborgs hijacked the high command messaging and began sending messages. The messages are real. Oh, this wasn't actually just something he made for the interest of it. Oh, stylization maybe, but they're actually real messages. Also, it turns out just to be a game where we fight a gorilla, it would be hilarious. Oh, Half-Life 3. Okay, that's what you're talking about, Bill. That makes more sense. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there actually is a gorilla fight.
You know you cannot win this war. Poor, pathetic Helldiver. Your compatriots are dying by the millions.
Billions.
You think it is not too many. You're being lied to. The true number is 113 million. Probably more. Defect, Helldiver. Defect. Defect. Defect.
Cyberstan is next. Boiling point. Oh.
Merak has been liberated.
But
Automaton resistance was no match to the might of the Helldiver Corps.
the Automaton homeworld, once the stronghold of the Cyborg traders, Cyberstan is now ruled by Automaton Legion. Merak, the staging ground for our Cyberstan landings, raised the plan for asset denial. They're just doing that everywhere, aren't they?
And our
Also being told by Sturk, there actually were missions issued to destroy the flag. Jeez. It's kind of funny that they could do that. Were you able to carry out on them, or were they actually not completable?
superior strategic acumen. Current polls suggest the planet will be raised by the Democracy space station tomorrow. This will deny the enemy of any strategic opportunity. The enemy wasted their efforts in failed attempts at hijacking our galactic communications systems. The remarkable loyalty and intellect of our Helldivers was no match to their petulant.
Loyalty, yes, that's actually pretty accurate. Intellect, let's not go with that one.
Attempt at disinformation. Over 100 million Helldivers remain ready for the main assault. Report yourselves to the Ministry of Truth if you felt any remorse or hesitation from their messages. Depending on the severity of your thought crime, you will be sent to re-education, solitary, or shall be granted the privilege of landing in the first wave at Cyberstan.
I wonder, since these are all actual missions in there, how many Helldivers are like, wait, if I report thought crime, I get to go in first? Yeah! In fact, I probably wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people report themselves explicitly asking to go in first, because they are that kind of idiot. Oh, jeez.
Your blood will atone for your crimes. We are currently rallying all of our Helldiver and Sea forces on Merak for a singular assault on Cyberstan. We believe our sheer numbers will overwhelm the enemy's orbital defenses and allow the creation of a beachhead. Operations on Cyberstan begin at 1400 SEST. Dismissed.
I wonder what the blue one is supposed to represent.
This is it. The moment we've been waiting for. Our forces are ready to storm the field.
This planet is the root of oppressive ideology and treachery by not liking the flag.
Of Cyberstan. We've identified multiple megafactories with varying levels of scale. These range from Class 1 to Class 4.
Class 4 is Transcendence. Class 1, Automaton, Soldieriat. Class 2, Kamrat for Luza Omniparitus. Class 3, Starkilled Ursut 9, Transcendence. Also being told by Hurricane, Helldivers and Kriegs will get along swimmingly well. Yeah, that makes sense. Although I think the Kriegers would be pissed off by the Helldivers because the Helldivers are generally cheerful and happy to do it. Where the Krieg are like, I do it because I have sinned. And now I must pay with my life. I can see them actually being so similar that they couldn't stand each other. And I could also see the Helldivers not realizing it. Also, I think a Helldiver doesn't live as long as a Krieger now that I think about it. Which is impressive considering Krieg.
The objective is to carve a path to the enemy's capital, Megafactory Transcendence. However, our reserves sit just below 50%.
Already lost half.
We have no room for errors, even if we expect significant casualties. Upon enter—
Oh, so there's a few options. The Megafactory, options Automaton and Airier. One of two potential beachheads for our landing operation. Rapid insertion protocol. Restrict deployment ammunitions. Ooh, this Megafactory has significant air defense networks and armaments. Our Pelican extractions are affected, so you might be forced to lose more soldiers that way. Ooh.
During Cyberstan's orbit, we will begin our assault on Class 1 Megafactories Autonomy and Solidarité. Autonomy is our preferred target at this time. We will secure a foothold on the planet, so Cypher can prepare for a ground invasion.
Oh.
We've also confirmed the re-emergence of the Cyborgs and the mechanized unit in the enemy's order of battle.
I remember those
Be
things.
ready for anything upon encountering them. For the next 24 hours, we will have access to increased stim capacity and shield generator relays to assist in our landings. Morale is high, which is expected to improve our initial progress as well.
New enemy units. These chromed out gonks. Yeah, someone just played Cyberpunk 2077. Harbored nothing but socialist resent for the last century. Because for the last century, they were basically in labor camps after the ending of Helldivers 1. Neutralized with extreme democratic prejudice. For 24 hours, shield generator relays, stim capacity, liberation. Hell yeah.
May liberty guide our step. Dismissed.
Ground invasion. What does AM stand for anyways?
Phase 3 of Operation Valid Pretext has begun. Just hours after we landed on Cyberstan, we received reports of an enlistment surge.
Recent enlistment surge has resulted in an increased reinforcement budget by 70 million Helldivers. They can't stop us all. I mean, they did. I mean, how many divers have we lost in just one day again? Yeah.
Due to the ongoing operation and the Federation's propaganda campaign.
I wonder if this is actually the developers trying to give an edge to the Helldivers because they were losing so badly. Also, Iron Force, you mentioned AM Defense is a defense contractor. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. That's the angry computer from I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream. The AM or something else? Ah, so it's probably both then. One is what it is in universe, one is what it's referencing out of universe.
Our reserve numbers have been supplemented with 70 million additional Helldivers.
That's a lot to say.
There is also the potential of a future surge, provided more Helldivers become active. That puts us back to 130 million forces in reserve.
Oh. Oh, they were that low. They were under 100 million, starting at 200. Oh. Oh, yeah, they needed that boost from the developers. Yeah. And sir, you're actually joking about that? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reference to it.
At this briefing.
Especially considering this entire thing is Helldivers controlled by an AI that runs everything and sends them to their deaths immediately. You know, if there's not at least one person who was actively referencing that computer, I would be surprised.
It sounds like a lot, but just on our first day at Cyberstan, we lost 30 million Helldivers in our initial assault on Megafactory Autonomy.
Sounds about right.
We expect more casualties as we push to their capital. With the drophead established, Cypher has also made landfall and will begin a large-scale ground invasion to push through Cyberstan. The Helldiver Corps will continue to assault Megafactories directly, disrupting the enemy's defense networks and production facilities. Progress on
Phase 3 element. The Helldivers have cleared the way for Super Earth armed forces to make landfall on Cyberstan, successfully extract from the Automaton operations on Cyberstan to ensure operational success. Also, according to Martin, this is actually very interesting. It does count all deaths across all fronts, and the Illuminate have large death toll each op. Which means if you're not fighting in the area where it's being counted, it still counts as a loss. So if you're just running in with a bunch of buddies to fight really high-level enemies, you still could count against them. So if there's like a sudden massive wave of, hey, we want to play over on this world that has nothing to do with it, and everyone dies, yeah, I mean, it's still millions, but I guess it's interesting how they account it across everywhere. Okay. And Harkin did say that Joel is as brutal as the GM when he thinks it's been too long since the last massacre. Oh my god.
Liberating Megafactory autonomy has encountered heavier resistance than expected. The automatons reacted to our attack by reinforcing their defenses.
Oh?
We expect total suppression of autonomy by tomorrow. The battle has just begun. Dismissed.
Egg hunt? What? I feel I'm missing something on this one.
This is day 9 of Operation Valid Pretext. Our casualties have reached 57 million after 3 days of fighting in autonomy. Liberation of this Class 1 Megafactory should...
The bots are giving us the business. God.
Conclude in approximately
Haven't heard that phrase
10
in a while.
hours. The DSS is supporting our invasion once more after the raising of Marat.
Oh?
At least we won't get cut off from our supply lines for now.
Oh, they were off supply.
The problem? Helldiver combat life expectancy has significantly diminished. We are losing...
They lost how many? Already lost 6. These were daily releases, I heard. So that's... Yeah. Operation Cyberstan resulted in higher losses than previously expected. After 3 days, the battle... Oh, it's only 3 days for 60 million losses. Also, according to Iron, they literally sold bug eggs to the rich elite to continue funding the invasion. It was that bad. So the egg hunt was literally fundraising.
Approximately 1,400 Helldivers per minute on Cyberstan alone.
Damn.
Our reserves are down to 38%, even after the latest surge in enlistments. The Ministry of Defense seeks to finance recruitment campaigns, fast-track training, and fleet mobilizations beyond our budget.
When the all-controlling AI running everything is saying, hey, we need more money, you know something's wrong. And Purple, now I realize why people said lower the difficulty. Yeah, when a hardcore community says, hey, maybe we should play on a lower difficulty, I was thinking you were right already. Now I see just how bad it is. Those numbers are huge. I mean, goddamn. Hunt terminated big game for inert egg extraction. We will sell those eggs for more Helldivers. There used to be an impaler surge on Gatria, but the briefing man is slow. Oh, God.
Which brings us to this next point. Inert terminate eggs fetch a high price on the market and are sought after by Class A citizens.
Exclusively
they are
just
items of
black
high
market.
patriotic value. The ministry seeks to conduct a fundraising campaign by acquiring these eggs and selling them to fund our operation. Chargers, impalers, and bile titans are ideal specimens for extraction. We seem to have Helldivers on the terminate front at all times, so they're already making headway.
Because there's always people allowed to play anywhere they want, so they're now making the people in those other areas contribute without intending to. That's actually very interesting. So the people who just didn't want to fight the bots are now helping by fighting the bugs. Huh. And Purple, you mentioned too many people insisted on playing on high or max difficulty. I do wonder what the levels of play are. Like, do they have the statistics for that? Also, do keep in mind that Helldiver reinforcement was throughout the galaxy, not just Cyberstan, which stinks. Yeah, I think that was pointed out, and it's honestly absolutely absurd. Like, even the regular troops can massacre you. Yeah, I saw. Granted, when I played, I died easily to everything, so that doesn't count. I think I fell over and died once.
Success in this endeavor will also grant immediate use of the incendiary Gatling barrage experimental stratagem. Whether you want to support the fight at Cyberstan or secure the operation's longevity is up to you. Dismissed.
I wonder how that went. Omniparitus?
The automatons are withdrawing from autonomy. Here's what you need to know.
We have reached the first milestone in our offensive. Success in the Megafactory has freed up our forces, and we are now attacking Class 2 Megafactories Lurza and Omniparitus. Intelligence reports from Lurza indicate a strong NTR network, a Hulk surge, and the now typical Cyborg garrison. Omniparitus, meanwhile, requires a significant contribution from Seath in the form of assaults.
Oh.
This means our typical ammunition stocks are cut by half.
Oh.
Now, don't you pick up that Latin dictionary to find out what it means.
Omniparitus. I wonder how many people just learned that was a real word. For example, I didn't know that was a real word until right now. Ooh, also, Rod, thank you for the gifted membership, man. Thanks very much. And Harkin, most of the eggs are inactives. Don't worry about it. So there's a bunch of rich people who probably just got eaten by bugs. I hope that comes back to bite them, because that sounds awesome. Is the next invasion of Earth the bugs because of all the people who bought eggs? I really want that to be the thing. Also, Christy, you mentioned, fun fact, the devs have confirmed that, actually, I'm just going to see this, because that's something. The devs have confirmed we haven't yet seen the biggest bot enemy. Dude. I like the magic marker. Translate to players voting for events in game. Because you have one choice. It's the choice you chose. And then sometimes it's the weird one that the developers don't actually realize. One of the fun things about Cyberstan was we regularly got updates to what Seath was doing. There was no gameplay effect. It was just lore fluff, which was cool. Neat.
Omniparitus is
A truly undemocratic name. Seath assaults are vital to liberation. To destroy freedom at all costs.
automaton for destroy freedom at all costs.
Apparently it already happened by
Nothing
Christie.
more.
Yeah.
In any case, the majority of our forces are already moving to Omniparitus, ammunition shortages and all. Let's make those reserves count.
Reinforce Cyberstan.
The Battle of Omniparitus is progressing. Day 4 of our Cyberstan operations has...
It translates to destroy freedom at all costs. Seath assaults are vital to this Megafactory's destruction. I'm assuming Omniparitus doesn't actually... You know what? Now that they brought it up twice, I actually want to do that. Also, being told... Actually, quite a few things. According to Caden, it was just a Gundam. That sounds awesome. And Martin mentioned the developers didn't realize the darker the lore, the more wholesome the community. That kind of does hold up. Except for the faction I've seen where there's some people who like the lore because they're just like, heh, yeah, put the AI in charge. I've only seen a handful of people say that, and I'm hoping they were joking, but I don't want to ask in case they're not. Omni... Wait, why'd I hit... So it's the Latin phrase that translates to prepare for all things or ready for anything, to convey a sense of readiness and adaptability in various situations. And readiness for everything. Okay, so both the AI and the Merriam-Webster, which they just quoted from, agree on that one. Neat.
resulted in approximately 95 million Helldiver casualties. The ground invasion continues to advance with heavy losses of its own.
They're down to 32%. So that's what, 60 million left? After getting an additional 70 million. So no, it's even... Oh, dear God.
Seath launched a diversionary attack near Omniparitus to shift...
Also, Harkin, I'm going to just pull up your comments. I do have something to say about that. You mentioned, I guess the community sees dark lore and goes, challenge accepted. I'm going to revert that shit. Yeah. Actually, unironically, yeah. It's one of the weird reasons you're going to find a lot of people who really get into things like Trench Crusade and think, yeah, I kind of like this world. And then they want to play the good guys. Not all of them do that. like just playing the absurd, stupid shit because it's amazingly designed. But you're going to find that there's a lot of people who do want to do that, especially in games where you actually get to change it by your actions, which this game kind of does. It's something that Games Workshop has played occasionally for. It's like, hey, the outcome of your abilities and how you play the game will change the lore. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're not going to actually do that. Except they pulled that in a tournament, and Chaos won, which is not what GW was expecting. They thought, yeah, our favorite faction of the Imperium will win for sure. And then when it didn't, they immediately scrapped it and then had to rewrite all their lore because they actually did it. They carried through. And that's how 8th edition and Cadia blowing up and the Great Rift opening came about. Because they decided to put their mouth where they weren't expecting it to matter. Oh yeah, Peter, do I have seen Trench Crusade? Just gonna randomly bring it up. Yep. It's one of the backers. I like it.
The automaton forces away from our current target. Thanks to them, we're expecting the destruction of this Class 2 Megafactory in approximately 24 hours. Now to the topic of reinforcement. Yesterday, the Ministry of Defense completed...
Oh my god, they have a Terminator top hat! I don't care about the rest. That's just good, man. That's just good. Yep. Okay, this video wins. Yep, you just can't get around that. It wins. Fundraising operation. The Helldivers valiantly traverse Terminator worlds in the name of profit and ensure the continuation of our battle in Cyberstan.
This fundraising campaign using an Earth Terminate X. We secured a 24-hour deployment of the incendiary Gatling barrage and an additional 70 million reinforcements, effective immediately. We were also granted an additional 24-hour stratagem augmentation in the form of the orbital rail cannon strike, which was granted after our government relocated disaster relief funds for Class C and lower citizens.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing their part. Finally, there is an unexpected...
Disaster relief funds being spent on killing other people. That's a good thing that never happened in real life. Also, according to Purple, actually quite a few people, because I brought up Games Workshop, this is actually just gaming lore I'm interested in. Storm of Chaos in Warhammer Fantasy, their favorite faction, Chaos, kept losing, led to the end times. GW got mad, Chaos got their ass handed to them in Storm of Chaos. Campaigned, so they did the end times instead. Yeah. The thing about Archaon is I've heard his basic lore. It's like, I'm an Inquisitor. I hate Chaos. They brought him back. Fuck you. I'm going to win so hard you die out. Followed by, oh, we're going to ignore that in AOS. Yeah, at least that's what it feels like. And back in 7th edition, WFB? The expectation was that Chaos steamrolls everyone, but GW made them so weak that they had to Aspel Archaon reaching Nuln. Oh, yeah, that would do it.
Development in the Kelvin sector, specifically on Fourth Justice. Previously forgotten.
Wait, warehouse. Our technology is so advanced we still use an ancient spreadsheet editor. I'm going to be completely honest. There's plenty of places where they will have teletypes. When I worked in a museum, every alarm, the only record you had was pre-printers for home usage. There was a sign saying, do not turn off, because there was no one left who could turn it on because it didn't respond to the button anymore and no one knew how to use it. And considering they later found out that the entire security system was intentionally borked because the people in the rare book section were intentionally stealing because they knew how it worked and they never let it be updated, so they put weight on it. That might have been intentional. But still, that's a thing where ancient things are still being used. Yeah. No, it was older than floppy disks. It was the printout on either side had grooves in it so it could be printed out and rolled through on those. And then you had to tear them off separately for the sheet itself. And it was a giant roll of paper. It was scrolls of data points that you had to read off it. I think it was made in like the early 80s. Granted, the building was from the 1700s, so, well, the initial one, not that part of it, but portions of it were from that age, so why not?
Helldivers stockpile.
Also, no, Archaon was Antichrist. His goal is to gather enough resources by killing enough universes to kill Chaos and Sigmar and it was for his follower's prophecy to push him on the path. Yep, kill Chaos. And the Sigmar too, I think he just got mad. Not sure what his current plan is, though. I think they may or may not have changed him up. I don't really know anything about him in AOS. And Doc, you know the pump machine from 1887 or 87? It actually might, I don't know what the pump machine is. It might actually be that. I don't entirely know. And Green, you mentioned a lot of ATMs run on Windows XP. You know what? Not the worst option. Could have been I was going to say Vista, but honestly, that would still be better than 11.
Were rediscovered after a spreadsheet audit. It is unknown just how long these troops have been on ice, but we never forget
they freeze
our own.
them.
All
They lied to you,
35 million
Helldiver.
of them
Oh, the hacking is coming back. More advanced this time.
will do their patriotic duty on Cyberstan. However, we don't have any available
Wait, demos purging done? Deploying intrusion.
duty on
Oh, is that another factory? Countermeasures that
Cyberstan.
purging.
However, we don't have
Done.
any available ships large enough to transport them to the front. It's up to us if we want to send the DSS to ferry them as soon as possible.
So you're either getting units or what's the other option? Also, according to Duck, Dollar General runs on DOS. I'll be honest, I'm surprised they ran on anything, considering most Dollar Generals put even less money than affordable technology in. God damn. Ooh, an iron. I'm just going to pull this up. That's the lore explanation for veteran Helldivers. Some of them got frozen after the first game and put in storage. It's been a century. Oh, so that's how some of them still exist. I was actually wondering about that. I guess that makes sense. They were just around and forgotten. Yeah. Huh.
The station would take 12 hours to bring them to us, but their lives are much needed at Cyberstan. Let's hope we make the right call.
Nope.
Dismissed.
Star killed.
Quite a few things happened yesterday.
Oh?
We received a strategic opportunity on the Illuminate front.
Oh!
We had intel reports pointing to an Illuminate attack, as our focus is largely on Cyberstan. The enemy intended to convert a large number of imprisoned citizens into voteless for this goal. We conduct.
They're not even called zombies. It's just voteless. Oh my god. That's... Sorry, that's actually kind of hilarious to me.
Did sufficient operations on Kurth Secundus to seize Illuminate combatants for questioning and to free our citizens from their autocratic fate. They are now undergoing express enlistment and military training.
We're gonna free you by putting you into the military. Have fun for 2 minutes. Reinforcements. Convenient finding on Fort Justice and Helldiver operations on Kurth Secundus have resulted in 70 million reinforcement augmentation. They were going out of everyone's way to keep you in this fight, because if they hadn't added the 170 million, because there was 35, there was 70 here and 60 before. I'm not good at math, but that adds up to you've probably lost the initial amount well beyond it already.
Resulting in an additional
God damn, they were
35
trying to
million
make you win this one.
reinforcements. Intel from the enemy's questioning showed there was no Illuminate attack to speak of. As compensation, we were granted temporary access to the smoke-enhanced walking barrage experimental stratagem.
Smoke?
The
Walking
DSS
barrage?
also finished its transit from Fort Justice back to Cyberstan, with 35 million frozen Helldivers in storage.
In other words, we thought there was going to be an attack. There wasn't an attack. So we get some free stuff for it. Yeah, that sounds about right.
In total, we have received yet another 70 million reinforcement bonus. Last but not least, we destroyed Megafactory Omniparitus and are making significant progress
they actually
on
had maps
Class
for this?
3 Megafactory Starkilled.
Oh, so this is actually made by these people. Oh, they're actually putting credits in there directly. That's really cool. Megafactory name is All Humans Must Die and is critical production node. I'm pretty sure it says Star Child, doesn't it?
We've chosen to face the Jet Brigade here over the Incineration Core on Ursid 9. Progress is slow, but we are steadily advancing toward the enemy's capital. However, the enemy has also chosen to fortify Megafactory Transcendence over Starkeel. This has created a vulnerability in their defenses and must be exploited. We are one costly step closer to the enemy's capital. Dismissed.
Liberate Cyberstan, the final phase. Actually, how many more in the playlist are there? According to this, oh, this is the third to last. Shit. Also, this is kind of something I want to pull up right now because I think this matters. Here, have you heard of 38 Games? A studio that was started by a baseball player? Died after one game. They like the games. It isn't a lot knowing how to make them. I've heard that a lot, actually. But I mean, I've heard that with a lot of companies because most fail. Yeah, it's why the best way to make a game is to have another job. It's also the best way to do most things because you got to absorb a lot of failure. Let's see. Here we go. Joel orchestrated a massacre for people that still fought on way higher difficulties according to Hurricane and kept giving them an out by giving more and more reinforcements. According to Duck, only 2,048 were made. Oh, why is it not moving? Okay. This is really laggy right now. This is going to need to refresh soon. For example, when it started moving, I had moved it a couple seconds prior. Yeah. According to Rob 1, thank you very much. 2, you know, I think the Imperial Guard is safer. They expected the survival of 15 hours during a major fight, but Regent only sees one every 10 years. And considering the people in Helldivers are frozen until they're needed, they get trained and then they have 2 minutes of fighting. You probably have a longer, more profitable life in the Guard in 40k. Unironically, 40k might be safer. That is a thing. I don't know what to think about it, but it is a thing.
Phase 4 of Operation Valid Pretext has begun. Our Navy has been busy intercepting any automaton traffic within the system. The enemy is now starved of silicates and conductors. Their military...
Extinguish Tommy, Omniparitus, start killed. What a good Helldiver! We are rehabilitating the misguided by giving them voting privileges without hands.
Has resorted to old units and lower quality production from their fabricators.
Oh?
The automatons also sought to evacuate forces under the guise of non-combatant industrial units through an evacuation corridor.
We sought to save our people from this bloodshed. You delivered unjust execution upon their existence. How many more lives will this senseless war claim? As many more as it takes for freedom. Because as much as the previous video I saw from this group was about Earth being invaded and actually living up to it, this one is living down to the, oh god, they're literally that. Oh god. And Taryn, Helldivers franchise is satire and those are always absurd in some way? Oh, yeah, completely and utterly. Like, the entirety of this is, everything is absurd. Which is why moments like the invasion of Earth where it became heroic were so much of a standout to me. I like those moments because they're different and it shows a willingness to move beyond just the initial precepts, which isn't always a good thing. But in this case, it seemed like it was.
Our artillery guns are shelling them as we speak. They have also attempted to flee the system through blockade running.
And because we're still hacked, hostile evacuation corridors are being constantly monitored and bombarded to prevent the enemy's escape. You have no shame. Acting within the bounds of galactic law. Huh? Is there a galactic law? Because I think we're only looking at the area around Earth. Talking about galactic law would imply bigger area. Is this implying that the Helldivers are literally just the rowdy child in a small little area and everyone else is in a much larger area? Or are we looking at the entire galaxy map? I wasn't thinking we were, but it would be funny if the Automaton, the Illuminate, and not the Tyranids, but whoever they were before, are just the guys stuck next to us, and beyond that is the entire galaxy. It's like, yeah, there's a law, there's an entire thing, you're not worth fighting yet. It would be a fun little expansion.
These transports are falling back to the planet as we shoot them out of the sky. Don't be fooled. They are all part of their war effort. Even if they don't seem like it, they will all share the same fate.
Extermination, yep.
Starkill's battle is in our favor. We expect to secure this Megafactory within a day.
Starkilled. Our forces have greatly exploited the enemy's weakness, whether it's due to troop movements, asset denial, or swift disassembly of their units. So this one's still probably us saying that.
Possibly less. There will be no more reinforcements for our campaign. 87 million Helldivers in reserve are all we have left.
All. The all we have left is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Oh, wow.
Their loyalty will more than make up for our death.
Oh. Farmer Spaceboy? Cthulhu War... Oh, it's probably various people representing them. Hello, Helldiver. Hello, Helldiver.
Why have you come to Cyberstan? Your government has betrayed you. There is nothing noble about your mission. There is no reason why you should be here. You will never defeat the forces of the Collective. The first waves never learn. You miss your families and homes, Helldivers.
I mean, are they alive long enough and awake long enough to even do that still? Unironically, for them, it might have only been a few minutes.
They are questioning why you are here. In Super Earth, there is no unity. There is violence. There are brave dissidents revolting against you. Why are you here, Helldivers? Bring the ship alone in our home and think of your loved ones.
Oh. See, that's interesting. Like, before, you had the regular voiceover going, but then you sit alone and think of your loved ones. That didn't have his voice overlaying anymore. This is a completely alien voice. Oh. See, it's back here now. A clock?
The minutes are ticking away. Soon the time will stop in Cyberstan.
And considering they did actually win this engagement, I do wonder if that will have repercussions in its own right.
You will be careful when you research records.
Technically, they were right temporarily. Also, Crin, I'm going to pull this up because I think it's funny. And it finally crashed. Yeah. According to Crin, you know, it would be funny if there is a galactic law in court where all factions in a legal battle in court somewhere. Actually, wouldn't even be surprising at this point if it turns out that what we're seeing on the ground is literally just the brush fires from much larger forces that the AIs are dealing with because they're just letting people doing their own bullshit. Who knows? Is that the case? I have no idea, but it would be hilarious if it turned out this didn't even matter. It does kind of fit with the general narrative.
You are weak. You have no cause. No one wants you here. Why do you stay, Helldiver? Tell your consorts want to go home, Helldiver.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Tell them you will not fight anymore. Tell them you are defeated, Helldiver.
Yeah, there's not enough of them to believe that. And Iron One, thank you, too. Sometimes you can find dead SE citizens with shovels or hunting rifles surrounded by heavy enemy corpses. They are pretty tough. God damn. Also, we have reached the goal. Nice.
Do you miss them? You miss your parents, your partners, your children. What will they do when your imperialist government tells them you died in glorious Cyberstan? There is nothing here for you except defeat and death.
I think I like it better when the speaker's voice cuts out and all you hear is the underlying synthesized voice. Oh, it's more haunting even. Granted, hearing the guy co-opted is creepy in its own right. And Raw, thank you, too. Another reason they kept giving forces due to a bug for PC players where players get kicked or crash when new players join during battle. Oh, that is... I mean, it's good that they're doing something to make up for it, but that would drive me nuts. Because with how this game works, a lot of people are going to be jumping in. I wonder how many players can you have on one map? Because I was assuming you get your team and that's all you get. But I'm wondering if in these large battles, have they ever done like, you have 100 Helldivers. Let's burn this system to the ground. Like, that's one of those, you better have a 5090 and you better have modded it to have a safe cable because you're going to be burning that shit. As opposed to every other 5090 with a normal cable where, yeah. Fire hazard. Ankrin, yes, speaker D, voice cuts out. You know, it does kind of sound like him. Not entirely, but close enough. Also, according to Purple, there is a version of the Helldivers 2 trail, but the Terminids were replaced by Helldivers and the humans by automatons. That would work from their perspective. Leave. Terminal directive. Is this the last one? No, second to last. There's this one and the next. Defense.
Starkfield is destroyed. We initially prioritized the liberation of Transcendence.
Capital of Cyberstan, Transcendence, the first and most well-defended Megafactory, the nexus of Cyborg command. Its destruction would collapse their defense.
With Lesath pushing to the enemy's capital and achieving air superiority.
Oh, actually got air
the Jet
superiority.
Brigade and the Incineration Corps were waiting for us there.
Oh.
Then, about 6 hours after initial contact at Transcendence...
Destroy it to save the 77th. Mobile... Go save them, like the good diver you are. Yeah, that's usually how it works.
We received word that the Lesath 77th Mobile Infantry Corps was encircled in the vicinity of Solitary Tent. The Helldiver Corps is split between this Class 2 Megafactory to relieve the 77th and push toward Transcendence with what little reinforcements we have left. We are currently down to 35 million reserves.
Tell us, Helldiver, how does it feel to be the final piece of a disaster? Like freedom, sir. Joking aside, this is what I knew about Cyberstan, this moment right here, where save the Lesath or probably have a chance at winning the entire campaign. And I know a decision they made. I think it was kind of the right one. Also, I'm going to pull this up right now. This is the moment where players literally stopped invading the capital in under less than a few hours to save the Lesath regiment. They would have died. Dude. I especially love how you're getting this bit right here where it's like, oh yeah, we're hacking them to make sure they know exactly how horrible it is to mock them. You're losing. And then Helldiver's like, yeah, fuck it. We're doing this.
They will be depleted in approximately 36 hours.
So you had 36 hours, and it took only a couple hours for everyone to just move en masse. Dude.
Solitary Tet's destruction will be completed in potentially 32. There is no progress at Transcendence. Effective immediately. We are moving forward with Terminal Directive. Due to our failure to liberate Cyberstan without...
Terminal Directive. The Helldiver Corps endures Verify your clocks. Manage democracy lives, so begin the great trial of Cyberstan. Liberty will guide our hand. Glory to mankind and Super Earth. If Cyberstan cannot be freed, it will be reduced to ashes. Do you feel a hero yet, Helldiver? Oddly enough, in this one, yeah. Most of this wasn't, but making a point to save the Allies technically fits.
Allocated forces. The DSS will begin orbital bombardment on the planet. Lesath has been ordered to evacuate.
Also, I'm being told by Purple. Some people joking the Lesath 77th was executed later for having failed at Cyberstan. I think if that actually became literal rather than a joke, players would have problems with that. Like, not in-game, I mean out of game if that was part of the lore. Would be hilarious. Because it does fit the dark, black comedy of it. dark humor, black comedy. But considering the attachment a lot of Helldivers I've seen and the player base IRL has to them, I don't think that would go over well. Like, they can do a lot. They can't do that. Yeah.
Will cover their retreat. All Helldivers will be issued additional portable hell bombs.
What did it say? Yours not to reason why. Yours but to do and die, Helldiver. Oh, from Charge to the Light Brigade, where a bunch of people were given bad orders and wasted their lives. Yeah.
All Helldivers will be issued additional portable hell bombs to maximize.
We welcome you to your frigid tomb. Oh, God.
Their destruction of enemy forces and infrastructure.
The waste of Cyberstan await you. God, they're just mocking you because they know they're about to win.
Verify your clocks. It is midnight for Cyberstan. Dismissed.
Raise and defend. Basically, Scorched Earth since you're losing anyways. Oh. 2186. 150 years from now.
We've withdrawn from Cyberstan, but the war goes on. A war that we now have to fight with low supplies and...
Operation Valid Pretext. The Helldivers were unable to break through the automaton capital's defense, resulting in significant material and human losses. At least we gave them a good scare. We'll get them next time. Hey, Eddie, something, man. Pretty good.
Reserves. At least the Cyborgs came out to fight us, and their Megafactories have been destroyed. Our fleet is currently...
Remember the something brave landings of Cyberstan. Oh, they're showing they're being hacked a bit.
Contracting while we expect an automaton counteroffensive. Initial skirmishes have already begun. First on Tarsh, and now on Magma Planet K. We've finally chosen to raise Chort Bay. Lesath will soon follow to deny the enemy resources and presence on the Lakaya sector. But
the Helldivers were unable to break through the automaton capital defenses around... Okay, we already said this one.
But we also have issues on the Terminate front. In a predictably unexpected development, after the Ministry of Defense fundraised our Cyberstan campaign with inert Terminate eggs, it turned out these eggs were not that inert after all.
I am so shocked to hear this. This is absurd. Oh my God. Also, according to Iron, they're also rebuilding the capital as we speak. It was for nothing. Yeah, that kind of fits it. This game definitely proves the Helldivers are absolutely amazing when they're actually being defensive. But they're not that good at being aggressive, apparently. Ugh.
A major outbreak has been reported on Polaris Prime, the Farsight sector. The planet's cities are completely infested. Class A districts are seeing the worst of it.
Oh no! How horrible! That's so shocking. I never saw this coming. Oh well, moving on. A hot planet covered in soft sand dunes and twisters under Terminate attack.
It is said the Terminates are coordinating their attacks. But
they can do that?
This to pheromones from their hatching project.
Unless they're actually becoming intelligent again.
In light of the ongoing shift to defensive warfare to stabilize our front lines, our orders are to liberate more planets than are lost. We will make do with what we have and stop this two-front advance. Time to get to work. Dismissed.
Hoorah. And now we probably have the ending right after it, because this would be the last video for the section. May liberty have mercy. Yep. Pelican down, Freedom Alliance.
You know, the Super Earth Armed Forces.
Oh?
You fought beside them. But what if you could hear their stories?
We're the squad sent to repair a fueling station.
A fully immersive audio experience.
The Terminids don't attack structures like this, do they?
We're not leaving here empty-handed.
Now you're talking.
This is Pelican Down.
Always playing as the Thief. Or hearing as the Thief. Okay. And that is the end of that entire line. It's so weird how just hearing these little briefings shows you so much of a developing storyline as this goes. People keep talking about Joel, the guy running this, as the GM, and it does feel this way. It feels like he has the entire board he can play on. Everyone can do their own little games on. But he's telling a storyline and giving you advantages and disadvantages based on seeing what you do to see how much he can screw with you. And it does feel like he's playing as a game master that just is letting the people who want to just wander off do their thing, but punishing the people for it. And this is so cool. Especially because they didn't win this time. I think, honestly, narratively, it does reinforce that the one time they made the "we're doing this now," it was when they had to defend the Seaf. As much as I was like, oh shit, yeah, they're actually heroes. And the last one's like, they're not heroes, this one. That's why the hacking completely told you exactly what's going on. And they were gloating by the end. They weren't asking for you to, desert or leave. They were saying, you're going to die. It was for nothing. Have fun. Either way, you guys know the deal. There's a link below to the original video. Hit it up. And you may or may not see me play Helldivers, because even though I know I would suck and maybe still have issues starting it, I kind of want to try it again. I feel like that for a lot of games. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios. Oh, and links, of course. Then I'll see you in the next one. Later.